Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming to my presentation. And today, my presentation will be mainly included 5 parts. And I will not draw too much detail about the technology of VIG. I just highlight some of the advantages of VIG. And then I will talk about the technological development tendency of the VIG based on our research on the patents. And then I show you quite a few applications of VIG. Okay, so first come to the introduction. And basically, this one is the typical VIG structure. So as you can see here, so actually the VIG is made of 2 glass pieces with the supporters inside, and also with some kind of solders to sealing all the structure to make this inside as a vacuum chamber. And here we also have the gator, because this is used to suck out all the residual air, actually. Normally, to make the VIG unit, we need to take the 2 steps. First is sealing the glass edges, and second, we need to sucking all the air out. And so normally it takes about 2 to 3 hours, and then we just sealing up to form the vacuum chamber. And here we actually made the comparison between the 3 kinds of difference of VIG. So here you can see it's very interesting, because if you just change 1 glass pieces from the clear glass to low E glass, the U value actually change drastically. It's from 2.2 to 0.46. But if you change another piece just from the clear glass to low E glass, it doesn't give you too much extra low U value. So basically, for the VIG, we actually need we just need 1 piece of low E glass. And this is, we have made some research about the life kind of technological life cycle of the VIG. Here you can see from the last 20 years, actually in the 1999, there are only 5 patents related to VIG actually published. But here, it's very interesting. You can see it's in 2015. There are 363 patents actually published related to VIG. So it's a very hot topic during the last 20 years. And when it comes to the advantages of VIG, and so it has very good thermal insulation, sound reduction, and also the anti-condensation. First, I want to say something about the heat insulation. So this is normally we used to calculate the heat transfer coefficient of VIG. And in this equation, you can see here R1 and R2 actually. This is the thermal coefficients of 2 pieces of the glasses. And normally when we calculate the thermal resistance VIG, normally we just focus on the middle part, because the edge is actually material dependent. It depends on what kind of the materials you used in sealing part. So in the middle, so maybe if we just look at this picture, actually it depends on the radiation of the two glass sheet, and also the heat transfer by the supporters, and also the residual air, so inside. But normally, the inside, the residual air is only have the pressure less than 0.1 Pascal. So we can actually forget about that one. And then it comes about, here, the thermal resistance is actually only related to the radiation of the glass pieces, and also the heat transfer by the supporters. And if we make the comparison between the 4 different structures of the glasses, here you can see we actually made this kind of heat box here. So it's actually include 4 different kind of the glass pieces. One is single pan, and one is VIG, and the other 2 is actually insulated glass with 2 pieces and 3 pieces. We make the comparison of the U value here. You can see VIG gave you the lowest U value. Actually, I want to say something about the test. So actually, inside this heating chamber, the temperature is like 60 degree, and outside the room temperature is about 25 degree. So VIG finally they give you about 25.3, so it's very close to the room temperature. The anti-condensation. So may I know how many of you actually from Finland? No one? Okay. Okay, because if you live in Finland, so maybe in the morning, if you just like in the winter with the high moisture, you open the window. Normally, something like this will happen because you cannot see anything outside because it's of the moisture condensation. Like in China, we also have the same thing, but like most time it's about the smog. So it's different story. But here, I just want to show you. So maybe if we have the solution for the anti-condensation, so let's make the comparison here. So if you look into this figure, this picture, actually, for this table, we make some the comparison between the VIG and the just the normal IG. So you can the U value here they had a big difference, and the most difference is actually happened here. So actually, for the VIG, the glass start to condensate. It's at a temperature almost minus 70 degree, but for the normal IG, it's start like -4. So why this happen? Because for the VIG, because the vacuum chamber, so like inside is vacuum, so it's not possible for the inside to have condensate. But so when we compare, like temperature from outside and inside, so actually inside temperature is much higher than the dew point. So that's why when you use VIG, it's not possible that you get something like this. It should solve your problem. So we want to enjoy the beautiful scenery we're in Finland in winter. Sound insulation. Here we also made some kind of test here. It's actually from a very wide range of their kind of operation. So here we can see the frequency. It's from 160 to 6,300. Actually, you can see it's very interesting because if the frequency is less than 500, so you can see the sound insulation is not that much. It's because when during the low frequency, actually it will trigger like the glass to vibration, and the vibration will be transferred by the pillars. And when the frequency is higher than 500, you can see it actually gives you more sound insulation. And here comes to this comparison. If you compare to the vacuum insulated glass and the insulated glass and also the laminated glass, you can see the huge difference here. For the weighted sound transmission loss, the VIG can give you, it's like 39 decibel. So it's much higher than other two. Okay, so let's move to the next part. It's about the technology development tendency of VIG. So actually, we made this based on the pattern analysis during 2018. And in 2018, I think we have analyzed about 167 patents. 132, they're actually from China. 35 is from other countries. So based on the patent analysis for the flexible sealing technology, here actually we have 8 patents. It's related to metal material sealing. It's because in total it's like 20, so it's occupied about 40% of the sealing technology actually goes to metal sealing. So why this happen? Here I can show you the picture because normally the glass sealing you can here like so you have metal sealing, the glass powder sealing, and some of them they actually use kind of layers to do the sealing. But so what's the kind of advantage of metal sealing? Because you can see these pieces. This actually used by the soldering process. So the metal pieces and the glass pieces can join together very well. So that basically during the deformation, because of temperature difference, and there's low stress like inside, so it can guarantee the vacuum of the VIG. So it gives you super long life of the vacuum insulated glass. And another one is about tempered VIG. Actually, for the tempered VIG, we have found that more than 60% of patents focus on tempered VIG. So basically, people are always looking for safety glass. So they want the glass to make the VIG to be fully tempered. And here is also something that's very, very interesting, because if you relate to the tempered VIG, why a lot of patents actually include like sealing equipment and the sealing methods. So why this happen? Because when you're doing the sealing, actually the temperature is a key point. So you cannot expose like the glass with the really high temperature with long time, because there has a possibility that the glass will be detempered. So it's not tempered glass anymore. So what we are doing is that we are trying to find that to weld the glass lower than 300 centigrade. So finally, the metal welding is one of the solutions for this, because you can weld the glass less than 300, because it only lasts about 3 to 5 seconds to weld the two pieces of glass. So actually here, I can show you the picture. So this actually just, we break the VIG pieces so you can see the glass is fully tempered. The continuous machining technology, for this one actually you can understand, because normally if you want to make the VIG, you cannot always make that manually. You always need a line, because people cannot make like 1,000 pieces a day. So that's why more and more patents this actually focus on the continuous machining technology. So actually in 2018, there are 31 international patents related to this technology. Actually, 21 of them, they go into the production technology, and 10 related to production line. So actually now we are also doing this, but we are targeted productivity is about 200,000 square meters per year. But now there is still the gap there. So we are trying to do our best on this continuous machining technology. Okay, here's the last one. This is actually the composite VIG. It's basically that VIG can be combined with other kind of the glasses to have other function. Just give you the example, like VIG combined with the laminated glass, and they can be put like facades. And then you can have the safety windows. So we have done some research, and finally, okay, it doesn't work? Okay, it works. And this is the patent actually related to the composite VIG. So you know how many of the patents can actually, we found that for the different kind of the VIG. Okay, the fourth part, I want to show you some very simple applications of VIG. First one, the household appliance, home appliance. Okay, maybe I take LG as example, and I think you guys actually from LG. Actually, is from 2004, I think they started to do the crystal glass panels, just instead of metal and the plastics. They started doing the crystal glass panels. And in 2018, there are more and more companies that actually focus on the smart perspective window refrigerator. How is it looks like? Normally, it looks like this. So you don't have to really to open this window. You can just tap like the glass panel twice, and so actually you can see all the things just inside. So that basically is to keep the cooling air like inside. So it's very energy efficient. This is probably the future tendency of how they are making this kind of refrigerator. Okay, the other application is about the architecture. This is actually what we have finished the project in China. So now more and more people, they want to live in a very nice house. They want this house to be like thermal insulated and also have very good sound reduction. So like in China, so like people live there very proud. So that's very close to the street. So that's now more and more people, they want to buy the VIG, and they want to get all the noise outside. So this is a very good application area for the VIG, and we truly believe this is more and more people actually will buy VIG for their houses like in future. So actually we have done quite a few of them like in China. Okay, so it's pretty fast, I think, but it's come for the summary. So according to the data that was quoted in the article, I think the development trend for the VIG technology probably include with these 3 points. First, flexible sealing. So this actually is what we call like metal sealing. So it's very good for glass. They have the very good stress, so it can release the stress inside. And the second one is about tempered glass. So everyone wants their safety glass. So this is also the very good focus. And the third one is about the large-scale production line, because more and more people, they want to leave the house with VIG, so that they want some companies, they can offer them the VIG can be mass-produced. So that this is also, I think, one of the focus that what we have learned, we have analyzed from the patent. And this is pretty much my presentation. It's a little bit short, but I hope you learned something from that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Liang.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions in the audience? One moment, you get a microphone.
You have a VIG production line.
Yes.
And how many quantities you produced, and in China, how many buildings applied?
Okay.
Square feet or square meter or like that, yeah.
So actually, I don't count, but now we have several big projects in China. Actually, the biggest one I think they ask us to offer them is very close to 10,000 square meters. Yeah, it's one.
Some very representative building name of the building.
This is kind of a secret for the client, because now they don't want us to talk that in the public. But we will talk this later. What?
It's confidential.
Yeah, because we have signed the contract. Yeah. So maybe we can talk that later.
Okay.
So if you're interested, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any more questions? Then I say thank you. Oh, no, sorry. There is another one. Left side.
How different is a VIG than a IGU? Like how much in percentage? And what do you think its future is? Also, do you think the pillars in the middle of the glass changes its aesthetic look? And in the near future, can it be like removed from the middle?
Okay, very good question. Actually, so I want to I want to answer the second one, because you mentioned about the pillars. Normally, now we use like the very small metals and to use that as pillars. It's about, the diameter is about 0.3 millimeter, and you can hardly see that, so maybe 1 meter away. But some of the clients, they actually ask us, can you offer us something that we cannot see the pillars? That's not possible, because you need supporters inside. So now we are doing the project actually related to how to make the pillar transparent. And we have done certain tests, we use different materials to try to make all the pillars transparent. But I say it cannot guarantee that, but we are trying to make the glass looks like the IG. For the advantage of VIG, so as I just showed you on the slide, it has much better thermal insulation and sound reduction than the normal IG unit, because they don't have air inside. Basically, it's vacuum, so that it can keep the heat and also just isolate the sound. So that for these two advantages, any IG they cannot compare with VIG. So why we truly believe the VIG can be the future of the market. Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you very much, Liang.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi there. Did you like what you just saw? If you did, why not like the video? Drop us a comment below, as well as share the video with others, since GPD is all about sharing. And to receive more videos in future, subscribe and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications. Ciao.